Okay, so let's start the end of September plot tour. I've started digging out my manure beds now. This is where Pumpkinator 2 lived, so it's over halfway dug out now, and I'll just continue on with this. I'm dumping this in the polytunnel just now on some cleared areas, and I'll let it dry out a bit before I sieve it for homemade compost. This is where the squash lived, and you can see it's just a mess at the moment, but that'll get cleared up when that one's finished. And same here. This stuff I was gifted, and I'm going to use it as bases. I'm going to try and move, there's some more of it, move that old shed further this way, perhaps that on a base of, we'll say maybe pallets. Well, I'll probably start off with a bit of wood chip to square it off, and then a pallet, and then, or pallets, and then this stuff on the top. Square foot bed. I'm calling this a sort of semi-success. I've had a lot of nice stuff out of it, but I did let it get into a mess, and it's still a mess. But I'm not sure how I'm going to treat this whole bed yet. I'll probably incorporate where the beans are, where the peas were. Oh, I just fitted a new wheel on this. My old wheel was gone, so I've got one of these non-puncture ones, solid, not solid, but it's, I'm not sure what it is inside, probably like a foam wheels. Took some doing because the wheel didn't actually fit where the bolt goes through, but I've managed to cobble it together and it seems okay. What we got going over here, yeah, the as you know, I moved the rhubarb into these big pots, and they're still there, they're still growing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with those yet. Courgettes, I think I've got the last courgette growing now, or the last two. The farm on the other side, I don't know, I don't think it'll do much else now. I think it's virtually over. Didn't do as well as last year, and I think it's to do with where they're both planted in that circular little bed there. Don't know what's underneath it, so. But next year I'll reposition it a different place. I'm going to do the same method, but I bought some seeds for climbing courgettes, and we'll see how they go. Of course, the beans, I'm just letting this all dry on now, and I'll have lots of seeds, hopefully, for next year, and some to give away. These are violet Cos Violet, or Violet Cos, something like that. Really nice. This side, parsnips are doing okay. Since I took the cover off, we've had a couple of nice cabbages out here, and yeah, I'll be taking some of that kale as well before long. Like with these, some of the leeks I put in have flowered, or are flowering now. The bees love it, and I'm going to try and take some seeds off of that. These are my own leeks, and those are leeks that I was given and I just stuffed in. I've no idea what variety they are. They look different. These are more of a silvery colour. So we'll see how they go as well. Pumpkinator. Looks a mess, but it's still growing. I was trying to think of a way to weigh this properly, and I don't think I can, because I've asked around and nobody's got a scale that's going to be big enough. I can just about lift it, so I'm going to try take it home and put it in the garage, probably sometime next week, or maybe even the week after. these are the what they call them, perennial kales, or some perennial kale cuttings that I took last year. They got absolutely eaten to the bone, but they're coming back as they normally do. These little square foot beds, the galvanised tin ones that I got from Timu, they're doing all right. Yeah, we've had some nice stuff out of there. I did stick a fleece, not completely to cover it, but a fleece over these potatoes. Got a couple in there as well that I'm not too worried about. And the potatoes seem fine in there. They're doing great now. So I'll leave them to crack on. So that I'll know when we've had a frost, a real proper frost. We've had little tinges, but nothing really to speak of. We've got some nice, where are they? I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, they're not quite ready yet. The beetroot and also some turnips. These are turnips, not quite ready yet, I don't think. No. We've also got some, what? I don't know. Can't remember now. And you remember my Brussels sprouts? They were completely eaten by the caterpillars, which like they did last year. And you can see the bottoms of them. But look at them now. They're coming back. And I had a really good crop of cauliflowers last year. Cauliflowers. Brussels sprouts last year. So a really good crop. I had a decent enough crop. Enough for me anyway. Swedes. Again, when I put them in, I was continually pulling caterpillars off them. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And here, of course, is my chop and drop buckwheat that is just waiting for the frost so I can take it down. To take it down, I should say. My method of weed control, because I compost all of this, but I try and let it die off first, which it's doing. I already mentioned these prepared containers for the garlic, still waiting. I'll do that probably next week. Carrots. I could pull all these carrots now if I wanted to, but why should I? They store pretty well in the containers. Have a quick look here. Yeah, I got one little one there and another one there, and nothing on this one. So this won't do anything. More perennial kales here. It's actually looking quite nice, some of it. And in the big one, Jerusalem artichokes. Changes afoot in here. See, I've cleared a few of the tomatoes, some of the tomatoes, about half I think. But as with the other things, tomatoes, if they're not ripe, they'll still, even if they are ripe-ish, they'll still okay on the vine, even though the vine is looking sad. And that's just what I'm doing. Garden pearl as a hanging basket tomato. Well, as I said, they do look horrible in places, but they've just not stopped, and they produce some nice tasting tomatoes. These tomatoes, of course, are the my specialist ones, and they're just going to stay on till I need them. Basil, of course, is doing great. Still, chard, I pulled some chard already. That one's got to come out. This is the dugout compost, like that over there and here. And I will be sieving a lot of this. I'm just going to let it dry out, and I'll be sieving a lot of it for my homemade compost. And just filling up as I go. In here. What else we got? The lettuce that I sown, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, that was in that container. pricked out and put in here, and they seem to be doing fine. I had another go with the coriander, and I think they were different seeds, and out of 6 I've got 2 come up, so I'll try and grow them on over the winter down here. I cleaned up a chrysanthemum and broke off 2 of the branches, and I just stuck them in a pot, and yes, they've rooted. So let's carry on. Of course, these pots are just vacant now, and as I said before, all I do is top them off with manure and leave them to winter like this. Some of these beans hopefully will be drying, and we'll get a nice lot of seeds out of these. I think that's getting there. Not sure if I've forgotten anything. Cabbage doesn't look too good, but it was it was adjacent to something else. Can't remember what I took out of here, but it wasn't doing it any favours. Oh, celeriac behind, starting to, well, say it's bulked up a little bit, some of it. So I'm hoping for a half decent crop out of those. See if I can pull it in. Yeah. I'm going to have a bit of a change round in here. Still got melons to come. I got a few in here to pull. Some chilies here, waiting for death basically, because I kill them over winter every year. Try and keep them, but never succeed. Garden pill again, still going strong. I've got some different tumbling varieties for next year. I'm going to try those in the smaller pots, but I will put some of these garden pill maybe in pots like I did at home, because they've come well. The ones at home were actually better than the ones in the hanging baskets. Yeah, I've got some aubergines there ready. And this side is where I want to put the staging this year. So I'm just waiting for this to clear, and I'll be putting that plastic base down so that it's got a decent footing. We've had a good few chilies, different varieties here, so all wasn't lost. These orange habaneros, I took all the orange ones off yesterday, are really nice. I think that's about it for this one. I've got a couple of sweet peppers still to harvest. As I say, we're just waiting for stuff now to finish. Everything's a bit messy at this time of year, and I mean messy. But, you know, I don't mind it too much. It gives me something to do. So I just slowly, about an hour or so a day, because I just turned 76 and I don't want too much in the way of work these days. I just get too exhausted. So that's me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.